In this episode, I wanted to take a different approach and talk about something very sensitive, alcohol. And the reason it's sensitive is because sometimes some habits can turn into lifestyles, and certain lifestyles don't lead to all the benefits and all the amazing things that life has to offer. Some lifestyles lead to very dark paths, depression, anxiety, stress, and if not controlled, can also lead to some of the worst case scenarios out there in life. One of them being never reaching your capacity, never really having an identity or a self-worth, losing all integrity, all dignity, and losing yourself. So whoever this message is for, I wanted to share a little bit of a different topic and some of the benefits that have come from me choosing to no longer drink alcohol. You know, I was wrestling with this topic because it's very sensitive and very personal to me. Just a few years ago, I was in a very dark place in my life. They say that depression comes from the inability to construct the future in your mind. I couldn't see the future. I didn't know who I was supposed to be. We talk a lot about who do you want to be, what do you want to do, alignment is happiness, if you saw some of my other episodes, but I didn't have that. I was wanting to be a certain person, but making all the wrong decisions. And a lot of those decisions were affecting me not only at work, in my personal life, overall as an individual. And I was losing so much valuable time doing things that didn't serve me. And I made a lot of mistakes. You know, when it comes to alcohol itself, which is something that I was struggling with at the time, it went slowly from being a work hard, play hard, have a drink, to 2 drinks, to 3 drinks, to then a habit, to then a daily habit, to then a 24/7 habit, to then a every weekend habit, getting lost in myself habit. Sometimes if you don't watch the kind of habits that you're building, they become lifestyles. And not every lifestyle leads to roads of riches and benefits and incentives and a great life. Some roads lead to death, they lead to struggle, anxiety, depression, and all of the opposite things that somebody wants for their life. And I was there. Before I knew it, I was digging myself a hole, and everywhere I looked, it was so dark, and I lost myself. I spiraled into a sense of no self-worth, and I struggled a lot, and nobody knew. You know, there's a lot of people out there. I can name a lot of these singers and rock stars and people. You got drugs, sex, rock and roll, and then you have the books, the development, the associations, the environments. What do you do? What feels better? Who are you around? And I got lost in the sauce of drinking. And a lot of times that I was in that place, I thought that I was doing the right things. I didn't know who I was hurting. I didn't know who I was letting down. And I hit rock bottom to the point where I almost lost my job, to the point where some people had to have very tough conversations with me. Some friends had to deal with my drama. And they say hurting people hurt people. I was hurting inside and I was hurting others and didn't even know it. I was incapable of leading correctly. I was incapable of being honest with people. And I remember having a conversation with Patrick one night. He picked me up in his car and we're sitting together. And it was awkward silence for a good 15, 20 minutes. We didn't say anything to each other. And finally I said, I don't know why I choose to do what I'm doing. And he says, you always have a choice. And we started talking a little bit about 2 words. And those 2 words changed everything for me. But as we were having a conversation, he went into asking me who I want to be, what do I want to do? And we just went through a whole conversation. And it was a human conversation. It was a people conversation. It was no business, no numbers. It was just relationship. Do you know that I love you? Yes. Do you think I care about you? Yes. Do you think I want the best for you? Yes. Do you want to be friends long term? Yes. Are we family? Yes. Do you want to change? And that's the one where I got stuck. You have to want to change if you're struggling with some kind of addiction, like I was. It's not easy to say that, but I wanted to change. I just didn't know how. From there, he said, you know, Mario, perspective and gratitude. don't forget where you've come from and everything you have in front of you. And gratitude. Make a list of everything that you're grateful for in your life. And this revolution happened. Now from there, I had to make some pretty tough decisions on what my habits were going to be next. You know, so many articles out there and people out there that have chosen a sober lifestyle, have chosen to not have a drink here and there, have chosen to change things up during the week. And I had to read about all that stuff, and I had to follow some of those same habits, and I got to go to, you know, certain meetings that I didn't want to go to, but I had to face the music. Then I had to find a way to fill myself up with other things that could replace the habits that I had. And 24 hours turned into 1 day, turned into 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. And soon enough, I started building a new habit and a new lifestyle. And that new lifestyle has now led to almost 2 years. You know, I want to take a second and just let you know that if you're somewhere right now where you're stuck and you don't know how to even get started, nobody knows about some of the addictions that you may have, whatever the addiction may be, behind closed doors, there aren't cameras on you 24/7. You know, I know I was really good at lying in front of people, and I was really good at showing people that I was having a great day, but deep down it was the darkest I had ever been. And I want to let you know that sometimes it's okay to feel like that, and pay attention to the people that are around you. You know, in your darkest moments, who praises you, who gives you respect, who shows you love, who's there for you unconditionally, and who's actually asking you how you're doing and backing it up with the action to check in on you. And those are the people that you want to rely on. And if you're somebody out there that sees somebody going through something, or you think that they're struggling with something, take a time out like my mentor did and go have a deep conversation, and don't wait till things hit the fan. Luckily for me, it didn't get to the worst pieces and the worst part, but it was a very important conversation that had to happen. I have to admit, the story is a lot deeper and a lot more emotional, that it's a little hard to convey the message, but I hope that you get a sense of the pain and the breakthrough that has to happen. We're either forced to change or we choose to change. Every day you have a choice. Life is a reflection of the daily choices that we make in our lives. You choose the books, you choose the personal development, you choose the leadership, you choose to create something, to work on something, to be an entrepreneur, an intrapreneur holding himself or herself to higher standards, to go above and beyond and to be able to experience the delayed gratification. That's one route. That's one choice every day. Or is it the 1 drink, 2 drinks, 3 drinks, selfish, my goals, my dreams, my desires, but they're unclear, so really all it is filling a void, filling a gap in the heart, and escaping into something that maybe does not lead to any of those things. And what happens is our identity every day slowly starts to diminish. And the choice that we make on this side, which is the sex, drugs, rock and roll, alcohol, like I did, it's a very different road. And you will end up drifting in life the way that I did. And luckily, again, we're back to it. But some of the things that I learned and realized and have changed because of the choice of not drinking alcohol is I stopped making foolish mistakes. You know, Patrick recommended a book to me years ago called The Samson Syndrome. And it talks about 4 different mistakes that all men make. Foolish mistakes, unavoidable mistakes, calculated and necessary mistakes. And I was making all the foolish ones. And not drinking has allowed me to be in my senses and not make some of those foolish mistakes that I was making. Confidence started increasing. My confidence had become very low. I didn't believe myself. I was very insecure. I had a lot of negative self-talk, a lot of dark thoughts of things that were never going to happen, and for some reason they just became these monsters in my head. And the fact that I wasn't drinking allowed me to be present, to be able to catch the thought and then redirect it to something else, where if I wasn't, I would escape all those thoughts and go and numb it out. And the fact that I could face the thoughts and deal with it started giving me more confidence. I was going to the gym, I was breaking a sweat, I was working out, and I stopped hanging out at the places where everybody was talking about the most random, dumbest, small-minded things with the wrong friends. And the fact that I was now around people thinking bigger, thinking different, and more present in the right environments, my confidence started to go up. And as the confidence went up, so did a lot of other areas of my life. And my insecurities turned into self-worth. Another benefit of not drinking alcohol is you can be trusted more. It's a little dangerous to give somebody who has addictions a lot of information, confidential information, trust them with company secrets, trade secrets, with your personal issues and your personal life, because somebody who can't control their habit, who can't control their mind and their own actions, is risky to that individual that's trusting them. Because if trust is a triangle where, for example, for me, it was my boss, it was his business and family, and then it was me, if I'm weak on my end, I allow for everything negative and all the hurt to happen on my corner. And it's not fair to the people that we love and to the company that we love to leave a weak side for them to be blindsided. It's not fair to leave a gap for anything negative or any unwanted fires to be started in that entire organization. So the fact that I wasn't drinking alcohol allowed for me to be present in that moment and to protect my side of that triangle. And it allowed them to trust me so much more with some bigger projects, personal and business. Another benefit of no alcohol was better decision making. You know, I've been in a position before where I was people pleasing. I was owing favors. That one picture, that one video, that one moment, that one thing I said. There is nothing worse as a leader and as somebody who's counted on to higher standards than owing people favors, than having leverage on you, and then having to make decisions that protect your reputation, that protect somebody leaking information about you. That's not the way to make decisions. If you want better decision-making ability, make some better decisions. The fact that I wasn't drinking alcohol anymore allowed me to be present, to make sure I didn't say the wrong thing, that I didn't have to owe a favor to somebody, and I can make the best decision possible, so that when people knew I was making a decision and I was present and I was all there, that it was a real one, a strong one, and that it was in the best interest for not only them, but for the company and for myself at the end of the day. The next benefit was the chance to reach my capacity. When you're struggling with an addiction and you're stuck there, whether it's weeks, months, years in my case, you lose a lot of crucial time. You lose a lot of momentum. You lose a lot of that opportunity to be your best. And the fact that you make that choice to start living every day where you face the music, you're filling yourself up, and you're giving it 100% every day, and you're giving it your all because you're thankful to have that opportunity and thankful to have another chance in every day. And we realize, I got a choice today. I'm gonna water the right seeds. You get to reach your capacity that way. Who I was back then, this guy, to who I am now, so much has changed. And a lot of that is because now I can tap into working late and working on the right projects. My mind is going, and the energy of my mind is going to the right place. I'm reading the right stuff. I'm watching the right documentaries and the right movies, learning from movies like Rocket Man and Star is Born and Bohemian Rhapsody and The Way Back. You watch all of these references and you take so much from it and say, what happened to those people and why didn't they reach their capacity? There was something missing. They weren't able to do something in particular. But not drinking alcohol has allowed me to be able to tap into who I want to be. Why do I want to be that person? What do I want to get done? How much time do I got to do it? Let me work harder. I work in a way right now that I'm trying to get those 2 years back. But I'm also not relying on those 2 years to dictate the rest of my life. I'm glancing at the past, I'm looking at the future, focus on the future, but reaching capacity, if you're present, at least you can get an idea and start building the future, and then working hard today to get closer to that. The next benefit is your health. And health has two parts, surface level and deeper level. On the surface, when people ask me right now, what's the biggest change in your health? I'm like, you lost so much weight, you look different, you look happier, you look younger. And that's a surface level of health, which is a benefit of not having alcohol. But the other part is deeper. And the deeper level is healing. On the surface level, your health changes, you look better, feel better, you walk taller, you start getting in shape, you go to the gym, you drop the weight, the beer belly, and all the nasty side effects that come with it, your sweat smelling bad, your eyes being droopy, everything about you is just weird when you're having so much alcohol. And on the deeper level, it's your healing aspect. On the deeper level, it's about loving yourself, other people to be able to love you. You can't give somebody what you don't have inside. There's a beautiful scene in Rocket Man where he's literally coming to a face-to-face moment with his younger self, and he says, when are you going to hug me? When are you going to love me? When are you going to accept me for who I am? And there's this shaking hands that has to happen between who you were born to be in life and who you want to be in life, and they got to understand each other. And that healing only happens when you're able to be in a healthier place in your mind and in your heart to understand that there's a lot of BS that sometimes is underlying in our lives, in our youth, in our past, with moms, with dads, with uncles, with aunts, brothers, family, co-workers, traumatic experiences, whatever they may be. So many people have it. But in order to find the roots of those issues and break that kind of a cycle, we need to be healthy enough to be able to be there and have the energy and work out our mind in a way that when we come face to face with that alter ego, when we come face to face with the dark side that we have, that at least we can square up and have a good boxing match. And so, you know what? I'm ready to heal, and I want to heal, and I want to feel different. And I'm done with hurting this much. And again, the right people around you, the right environment, and the right things you're reading and watching allow for that healing to take place. And when it does, it feels better. You can do better. You act better. And everything gets better. There are so many other benefits that I may forget to mention in this video that I don't want to overlook or disregard. So please comment those below if you're watching and tracking this video. But the next one that I want to mention that's very special and dear to me is love. And love is very personal because I wanted love. I want to be loved. I think everybody has a very deep desire to fall in love, be loved, give love, experience love. Not only the love that is a romantic type, but the love of what you do, the love of the future, the love of your coworkers, the love of your boss, the love of the recognition, and the love of your goals. There's so much that has to do with love. But if you can't love yourself, you can't love any of those other things either. I lost so much love for myself because I was judging myself on the decisions that I had made in my past. But not drinking alcohol and doing all the other things that come with it, which are facing the music and everything else that I covered earlier, a lot of those things led to the ability to love on other people, to love where I'm going, and to love it to the point where I wanted to share a lot of this content with you. Because somewhere out there, and I don't know who you are, nobody knows. You can be in a room with 15, 20 people, you can be anywhere watching this video right now, and you never know that one person with the biggest smile, with the loudest laugh, with the best keynote speeches, the best online YouTube content, some of the best people out there are really good at loving their subscribers, loving their audiences, loving their clients, but they don't love themselves, and that was me. We fast forward to today. I love the individual that God has allowed me to be. I love the individual that, given the second chance, is trying to make an effort every day. I love some of the decisions, even though they were really tough, that I had to make and how they've evolved. Whether it's relationships have become friendships, whether it's people that I let down, know that I never meant to let them down. People that I wanted to say that I love them, know that I genuinely care for them. I wasn't able to give any of that love to other people or to what I do until that revolution happened inside. So the ability to love is not a weakness. The ability to love is a strength. But that strength only comes from the core. You fix the core, you fix that, everything else starts to be affected by it. As I wrap up this video, I can't help but just be honest with you that there was a lot of unscripted moments in this video. There are some points that I wanted to share, but I wanted to be as transparent as possible. I wanted you to know that as good as some people are out there and as strong as some people may appear on social media or any YouTube videos, sometimes we're not as strong. Sometimes we're around great people. Sometimes we're not great speakers, but other people have poured the right mindset into us and we repeat it. You know, sometimes what you see somebody hold dear is more and is dear to them because maybe they almost lost all of it. And I want you to know that if you're somebody right now that watched this video, or you know somebody that needs to watch and hear a little bit of this content, you're not alone. You're never alone. You can send me a message and I will talk to you about exactly what I did every day. I will engage with you and be your friend. We'll be family. As long as you don't spam me and try to sell me some Mary Kay and Herbalife, we'll be friends. But you're always available to message me and let me know, hey, I'm struggling with this. I'm dealing with this. I'm one of those people. I love to hear if you overcame it, how you overcame it. I love for this message to get a little bit out there because I do believe that right now we're living in a time in the world where it's really hard to just go to work and go home, go to work and make the same kind of money, not make more money. It's really hard to be a single parent. It's really hard to be a family right now and to struggle with everything that's going. It is so hard to survive and live for some people. Not everybody gets to experience the beauty of life. And because it's so hard, people find ways to escape. And I did, and I almost lost everything. And before that happens to you, and before that happens to somebody you care about, we have to make sure that we're there for those people the way that we're there for other people. We got to look out for our friends. We got to look out for our family. We got to look out for our loved ones. We got to protect the people that we hold dear, because together is how we make changes in other areas. Valuetainment is about value and entertainment that creates a movement. But that movement can't happen if we're not around to see it. If you're an entrepreneur watching this and you want to hold yourself to a higher standard, make some bold decisions and look at your habits, find out if you have any addictions. And if you do, and you want to enjoy that delayed gratification, you need to survive. If you want to enjoy the benefits of all your blood, sweat, and tears into a company, you need to be around to see it. You need to be able to be there as long as it takes. You can't be fired. You can't quit emotionally. You can't be let go because you made the wrong choices. You can't let other people influence you because you're not able to control something in your life. Sometimes we need help. We all do. There's nobody perfect, not behind the camera right now, not in front of the camera all the time. If you're somebody right now that feels alone, struggling, like you don't know what to do, maybe you have some habits nobody knows about, maybe you know somebody going through something, but you don't want to tell anybody, you're a little scared, get them to the right place. We're going to put a link in the description here, some links to some resources that could possibly help. My outcome for this message is not to impress you with what I've done the last couple years. It's not about what I did that's so great. It's about a regular person with a great opportunity in front of him that almost lost everything, that hurt a lot of people in the process, that wanted to change, that was desperate for a different kind of life, and who wanted to change. However, somebody who also had the right people in his life and the right people to protect him while he made those changes. But I had to choose. At the end of the day, if you've tried to help somebody and they're not changing, it's not your fault. If you've tried to be there for someone and you're either in a relationship or a work relationship and somebody doesn't change, it is not your fault. At the end of the day, you, me, we have to choose to change from the inside. We have to make a decision, either by force or choice. But life will throw you into a spiral like a tornado. And if you want to come out alive, then you have to choose to come out alive. I am willing to be there right with you, give you that high five, give you that fist, send you that message if you make that choice. Because I know the value that comes with it. And I hope this video helps somebody out there in the world make the right choice. And I look forward to seeing what the outcome is and the delayed gratification of hearing your story one day of how this revolution happened for you. So all it takes is one person to make the right choices that impact thousands of people. All it takes is you and I making that decision, and our lives can change. And if our lives change, other people's lives can change. I hope that this message has resonated with somebody. Don't feel bad or sorry for me, because I am fine. I'm around great people. I'm in a great environment with a great company, with a great brand, with people that I love and respect, that people that care about me, in good relationship with my daughters who are in California. I am a happy son. I am a happy man. I am a happy worker. I am happy to be alive. I am grateful. God has given me a second chance. I don't plan on wasting it. I am good, but I want you to be good too. So my recommendation from something like this is to watch a couple of videos that Patrick did a few years ago. One, how to handle anxiety and depression, a very heartfelt message that Patrick did one time, and also how to break the curse of limiting beliefs. Because one person, all it takes is one person to break the curse of any family.